Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As you probably know, today, Donald Trump, the President of the United States of America, called Vladimir Putin the President of the Russian Federation. They had a conversation of about 2 hours, more than 2 hours, and I covered that phone conversation in this video that I posted earlier today. Go and watch it, including Putin's statement after the meeting, all the key points discussed and what they agreed. The article, one of the articles that I used in that particular video, stated that Donald Trump, after the phone conversation with Vladimir Putin, called the leaders of France, Emmanuel Macron, Italy, Meloni, the German Chancellor, Merz, I think the Norwegian or Finnish something leader over there, Ursula von der Leyen, and Zelensky. One guy was missing from the list. The list was put together by the Russia Today. I don't know if they missed Mr. Starmer or not purposely, it was a mistake, or simply Donald Trump did not call the guy. Or maybe the guy did not pick up the phone. But I have here 3 articles with the aftermath. Not only the aftermath, but we find that actually Donald Trump called Zelensky, not as he said yesterday, that he's gonna, and the day before today's call. Trump said, I will call Putin and then Zelensky and the baboons from Europe. Actually, Donald Trump called Zelensky first, then Putin, and then supposedly, reportedly, the baboons in the European Union, plus Zelensky again. Did you know that? I didn't. I just found out now. And I have 2 articles regarding Zelensky's statements as an answer to Putin and Trump's call from today, which is he thinks that he's in charge, basically. But anyway, maybe he's in charge. You know what's strange? It's strange that the United States of America sometimes, many times actually, have this saying, Assad must go. Or let's say, Gaddafi must go. Or they say Slobodan Milosevic must go. They decide someone must go, and that particular guy is gone. Why is it so hard for them to say Zelensky must go? All right, we're going to discuss that one too. So let's start with the first topic and article. Ukrainska Pravda, Monday the 19th of May, 2025. This is according to Ukrainians, my friends. So I don't know if this is true. This is reported by Ukrainska Pravda. Trump called Zelensky before talking to Putin. Why? Okay. US President Donald Trump has begun negotiations on a ceasefire in Ukraine with a phone call with Volodymyr Zelensky on Monday 19th of May. Now, the source is Ukrainska Pravda, and sources in the press service of the Office of the President of Ukraine. That is Yermak. Never trust Yermak. It had been anticipated that the first stage of diplomacy would be for Trump to have conversation with Kremlin leader Vladimir Putin. But Trump decided to start with the Ukrainian side. Reuters is reporting that as of 17:39 Kiev time, Donald Trump has begun the phone call with Kremlin leader Vladimir Putin. Now, Ukrainska Pravda uses the word when they refer to Putin as dictator, Russia dictator. Now he's the leader twice. They use twice the referring to Putin right here as leader. On May 17th, Trump announced that he would hold a phone call with Putin on Monday 19th, followed by conversation with Zelensky and NATO allies. Well, this is it, my friends. They say that these guys talk first. Is it true? I have no idea. They can say whatever they want, but I thought it should be good to be reported. Next one. Ukrainska Pravda. Zelensky announces where the next meeting of the delegations of Ukraine, the United States, and Russia may take place. Why do they still give this guy a voice? Not a voice, importance. He should have a voice, but they don't give importance. For instance, I had a conversation with someone today, and she said, "Where is Elon Musk? He's out of the news." It was an article saying exactly that, and I said, "Well, that's how the media can make you. If they want tomorrow, you will be the most important piece of news in the United States of America for how long they want. If they want it to be only one day, you will be for one day. If they want for a week, you will be for 1 week. Now, if they want tomorrow Trump, they want you to hear nothing about Trump from them, you will never hear, like he's not doing anything. But he's doing something, but they don't cover it. The same with Elon Musk. So the same here. These guys give Zelensky such an importance and rather announces where the next meeting of the delegations with Ukraine, the US, and may take place. First, nobody asked you. You're not in a position to say that. And who says it's going to be this format? So he already decided that he's in charge where the meeting is going to, who's going to be in the meeting. Maybe he's going to tell us when and what they're going to discuss. Remember, this is the guy who has, as Trump said, for real, has no cards. Who holds these guys' cards? Who holds them? Because it seems like Trump calls him first, and not only, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Now, here they refer to Zelensky as Ukrainian. He is as Ukrainian as I am Zimbabwean, just so you know. Has announced that Ukraine is considering hosting an international meeting attended by delegations from Russia, the US, the European Union, and the UK. And interesting, Russia will not participate. They were not going to participate and speak with the United Kingdom regarding Ukraine issue. They should take care of their English channel, the Irish, the Scots, the immigrants, and the guys with the gangs, the gangs, you know what I mean, the Pakistani gangs. They should take care of that first. They shouldn't care what's going on in the Black Sea area. That's the first one. European Union should mind its own business rigging other elections. Now they're done with Romania and they're going into Poland. Next runoff is going to be Poland. They had elections yesterday, and again, a nationalist and a pro-European are in the second round. Who's going to win? I suspect the European. The guy towards Europe. Why? Good always win, Hollywood tells us. Look in the Middle East and see how good wins always. So, this guy already, he's the master of the ceremony. He tells us who's going to be there. Russia will never agree. And remember, Trump said it's going to be the Russians and the Ukrainians because they know best. In this video, you're going to find out exactly what Trump said. He said it's going to be between Russians and the Ukrainians. It's up to them. They will be the ones, not the guys here that are your sponsors and your baboons. No, these guys have nothing to do. They get out. They are in the losing side. Zelensky said that several potential locations for the meetings are under discussions. With whom? You, Yermak, and Zhmihal, the Ukrainians? You're going to have the discussion? And Zelensky, we are considering a meeting of all the teams. What do you mean all the teams? We didn't invite Bangladesh. Fuck off. We want to organize it at a high level and with the participation of the US, Ukraine, Russia, and some European representatives. Some. I guarantee you Mr. Orban will not be invited. And the UK, this meeting could take place in Turkey, the Vatican, or Switzerland. Okay. What about Tel Aviv? We are considering these three venues. Who's we? Who's we? The guys that are discussing? Where is that? We are considering we. Who's we? The important thing is not comfort. Okay, then go into the Sahara Desert or Gobi Desert. Why do you go to Switzerland, I wonder? But who can organize a meeting that achieve the desired result? Oh my God, he's a hands-on guy, man. All right. The president also emphasized that the president, unelected, but he's the president. The other one is the leader of Kremlin. You got that? Also emphasized that this is a meeting at the highest level involving delegation from all sides. There's only two sides. One, United States of America, and the other one is Russia. That's it. The rest are just guy who bring you coffee, the guy with the towels or with a leaf. Oh, it's so fucking hot in here. Okay, these are the guys, the one underneath the table. These are the rest. These are the only ones at the table are the Americans and the Russians. Capisci? All right, let's move on. And let's go to the third topic, which is Zelensky says, because he's in charge, we won't be withdrawing our troops from our territories. And remember that song, Queen song with Eddie Murphy, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, Freddie Mercury. Show must go on. Remember that one? Oh, okay, that one, the same. That means the show must go on in Ukraine. That's where it's gonna go, right there. Because we won't be withdrawing our troops from our territories. You have no cards, Babu. Shalom. Go back home to your goats. Leave us alone. Again, Ukrainian president has held a second conversation with his American counterpart. Second, the first one was before. After the US president's conversation with the Russian OPA leader again. He's a leader now, OPA. When the Americans don't like a guy, a leader of a country, and he's the president. So when they like him, they call him whatever his title is. Emperor, king, leader, president, Führer, whatever he... All right. Whenever the guy steps to the left or to the right of what he's ordered by the United States of America, the media and the guys, the officials, start calling him a leader. That's a downgrade. And after a leader, if he continues to not follow orders, he's going to be gone to the guy in charge or the chief, right? Or sometimes simply a strong man. And if you drop the strong man, the next one is dictator, tyrant, totalitarian, and so on. And then that's it. He must go. So Putin was a president first, then he dropped to leader, then he dropped to dictator, Ukrainska Pravda, and now he's up a leader, so he's in his rehabilitating state, like the guy from Syria, is a reformed jihadist. You can make shit out, man. Here, all right. Zelensky at a briefing broadcast by Ukrainian bababab. We won't be withdrawing our troops from our territories. Okay, it is the constitutional duty of mine, of our forces. There will be no ultimatums. No one is going to surrender their lands, their people, their homes. I don't know what the principles of the memorandum mentioned by Putin are, but if Russia sets conditions for withdrawing our troops from our land, it means they don't want the war to be over. What? Because they clearly understand that Ukraine will not do this. Zelensky said that Trump believes Russia is ready for compromises and that the beginning of direct negotiations between Ukraine and Russia is the most important thing for the US president. No. Did you hear what they say here? That they want all sides to be there. They want all sides, Russia, US, EU, and UK. So what are you talking about, Trump? Is the most important thing. President Zelensky, he's the president, the other guy is the leader. President-elect, okay, Zelensky, last year in May expired. Noted that he would like the first step to be a ceasefire so that the Russians can demonstrate their true willingness to end this war. The president added, again, the president the third time, that Ukraine will wait for the Russians' memorandum. Okay, excellent. One of the best examples is to study how the Poles from Poland negotiated, it's in quotation mark, with the Germans, with the Nazis before September 1st, 1939 invasion of Poland by the German Wehrmacht. And then you're going to find out that that's the same thing they did, because they got guarantees from Great Britain that if Germany will invade Poland, Great Britain will enter the war to save Poland's honor. But when the Soviets entered and started their invasion of Poland, Great Britain did not save the honor. On the contrary, after the war, gave Poland's honor to the same criminals in the Kremlin, which were the Soviets, not the Russians. All right. Why? Stalin was a Georgian. Just for an example. Not an example, a matter of fact. All right, so that's why the Poles had no intention to negotiate in good faith regarding the Gdansk corridor or Danzig corridor. They didn't want, and these guys gave him ultimatum. The Brits were celebrating. The guys behind all this, not the Brits. The Brits were used. The people of Great Britain were used as the Ukrainians are used right now, or now the current residents of Great Britain will be used by the guys behind all this. I give you a hint: Balfour Declaration. First World War. So, my friends, the same here. This guy says, like, we negotiate about a car, and when we meet to negotiate, or you say, Emil, I'm not going to negotiate with you until you, I don't know, put a feather in your ass. Fuck off, I'm not going to put a feather in your ass. Huh? I'm not going to negotiate with you. And if I put a feather in my ass, then you're going to say, I want, I don't know, a dick in your mouth. I do that too. I'm going, no, now I want this and I want that. There's always going to be something to get to the negotiations, and always the person will say, Emil doesn't want to negotiate because he didn't want the feather in his ass. Okay. All right, he didn't want his dick in the mouth. Oh, yeah. He didn't want that. It's always something, and it's going to be forever something. Forever something. It's always pointing the finger at me, that is me. But he doesn't do anything about it. Did you notice that Zelensky doesn't give anything? He always demands the other side do something, but they don't do anything. He's not doing, when the other side says something, no, you do it first, but I'm losing. So since when the loser sets the terms? Since when? Is either Zelensky a delusional, or his side really doesn't want to stop this war? Or there's another option in which actually there's all the guys in it. Remember, you have to use like an investigation. You have alternate hypothesis in which you have to take into consideration any kind of hypothesis, regardless of how crazy that might be. You have to pursue it. Try to eliminate any hypothesis you can think of. Not conspiracy theory. You have to think of something, even as crazy as possible. The same here. I can think that the Americans, the Russians, the Ukrainians, these guys are all in the same boat. It's an alternate hypothesis with others, but I leave a little door for this, and it's us, the baboons. I know you can say, Emil, you push it too far. No, this is how you investigate, this is how you find out things. You ask questions, regardless how ridiculous they are. You eliminate each issue by asking questions and trying to find out the truth. That's how you find out the truth. You don't say, no, he wouldn't. The grandfather? Do you think the grandfather did that to the grandson? No, he's a grandfather, for God's sake. He has never done this before. I heard these kind of things in my job as an investigator so many times when I was investigating crimes and certain things. Like, oh, the grandfather cannot possibly do anything to that child because it's a grandfather. And he has never done anything like this before. Maybe this is his first time. Maybe you don't know who that guy really is. And anyway, you have to be ready for these kind of things. It's the same here. I can take anything into consideration. Anything. So why? There are certain things that don't really make sense from a logical perspective, from a life experience. How come this Zelensky, a comedian in previous life, is recognized, admired, supported by whom exactly? He's losing, and he's still held up as being somehow the better than, I don't know, our Alexander the Great, our Napoleon, our, I don't know, Zhukov, our, I don't know, Rommel, better than all these generals. I can go on and on, I'm not gonna, okay, better than all of them. Somehow this goat herder from the bazaar is better than all of us. I mean, I know they are, they say. And, anyway, I'm not going to continue with this. You know exactly where I'm going. So the point is, this guy is still saying he thinks he's in charge. And my point is, why of America doesn't make it easy? Like he made it with Assad. He made it easy with Assad. He made it easy. I'm not saying that's the way they should pursue. But you don't tell me that they cannot have any leverage to say, Zelensky, you go. They don't want Zelensky to go. Otherwise, Zelensky would go in a day. If he wants, or Zelensky doesn't want. He's gonna go if the Americans wants. Clear? Or the Brits. And he's not. That tells me these guys don't really want this guy go. So when you hear Zelensky is negotiating with Trump, that's a staged thing, man. What do you mean negotiating? Who the hell are you? Ukraine, who the hell is this guy in charge of you? Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.